This is week 11. Monday. Yep, right before voting. Talked about security information, cloud utilities, and the web. Assignment 4, project 4. If there's any questions, unit 6. We start security. Information security. A lot of times we refer to that as cybersecurity. In here we're going to talk mostly about data. Is it accurate? Can you see the data? What information? So we talked a lot about data. So security, technology, assets. In our case we're talking about data. Is there a threat to the asset? Is there somebody who can carry the threat out? Then how vulnerable are you? So can you measure that? Could this happen? You put that all together and you get your risk. You either accept the risk, you remove it, or you fix it. Okay? 3 areas of data. Is the data accurate? Is the data in a form, is the data such that only the people who need to see it can see it? Is it confidential? Is your privacy being taken care of? And is data available? Is the data available for those who need it? Okay, 3 important areas of data. Now, what state is the data in? And I'm not talking about Iowa or Nebraska or whatever. Or we're concerned about how data is stored, when it's moving in transit, or when it's being processed. How do we protect data? Products and devices. We have products like virus software. We have devices like firewalls and locks and different ways to protect the data. We have policy or guidelines. Policy is more like a rule. You follow a guideline is what you should follow. And then we have procedures to put these things in place. And the last thing are people. How do we train people? What kind of culture? Do we have a positive culture where people are concerned about taking care of data and security? So this all works together to create a secure environment. Are we going to be talking about data, or are you going to be talking about your kids at home? Do they feel secure? Do they feel safe in the environment? Iowa Communications Network. We have a device connected in, and going each way of that device at the college we have a firewall. Okay. Firewall blocks information coming in. Firewall blocks information coming in unless there's special permissions that let it through. A little bit about private addresses we use to access things on the internet. So we have a path that allows outside traffic through to this work server. So you can type this in from the outside and you get through because we've created a special path through the firewall to allow us to do that. And then we talked a little bit about name services. Name services, look up a domain name, and we get an IP address for that domain name. So these are tied together. So out on the internet, when you type michaeldirksen.com, it actually is going to go to this server somewhere in the cloud, somewhere through the internet in some provider's location. Similar, this. Instead of a domain name with it, we just use that to access the server. This occurred November 14th. It was a tech talk on artificial intelligence. And the students, I should mention, had the option to attend this or work on a project in class on artificial intelligence or the deep web. Okay, this is still week 11, day 31, Friday. No slide for Wednesday. Okay. Group work, so we reviewed memory, hard drive, multiple OSs, Windows 10, and so forth. Talked about loading the OS in the memory. Talked about identifying people, authenticate, authorize, passwords stored as a hash, and then we talked about what encryption was. So here we use some algorithm to encrypt the information, or more specific there, we talked about taking this information, you send it here, use an algorithm to create a hash, send the hash over, and then you hash this, and then you compare those hashes. If they're equal, then we preserved data integrity. That's it for week 11.